gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up. But guess what? We have a half an hour. We have a half an hour where we can discuss things with each other, where we can speak with Runoko if he has a moment. But we have a half an hour to be together. And right now, before we move on to the next part, I want you all to say, thank you, brother. Can you all say it? I want to say thank you, sisters. Can all the brothers say thank you, sisters, for coming out here?
Thank you, sisters.
It's really a brave community, and that takes brothers and sisters to get it going, right? Now, before we move on, we have our sister, we have Mamadou, Tonde, who's going to play some beautiful choral music. We're going to turn the lights down. And we have our sister, a wonderful sister here, Julia, who's going to accompany him with some poetry. And you know what? We need everybody's attention like we do. And before we step into that, I just want to say one thing. Can we have a moment of silence? Can we have a moment of silence? Can we have a moment of silence before we go into this next part that's going to lead us out of here, right? We had a brother who died in his, who was burnt in his car, or who burned in his car in Sweden. He was a politician, he was 20 years old. The brother's name is Alexander Bengtsson. He was in Sweden, he was a civil rights activist, he was also gay or homosexual, but he was an advocate for PADs there. And somehow, mysteriously, he was burnt up. They found him burnt in his car after a few weeks after being threatened in his own home by knife, and many threats going on and on and on. You see, so can we have a moment of silence for a brother, because we lost somebody.
Questions. Why is it AIDS spreading faster? And in Africa, everybody get busted. Is it because we freak like hamsters, or because we multiply like the stars? I know some of you don't like that. Abraham's seed is strong like weed. They try to defeat, but they can't succeed. Why is Ebola spreading faster? In Africa, everybody get busted. The world is shocked, but they don't want to get caught flying a spaceship while we breathe against the clock. Knowing that these questions I would rise, the advertised, manufactured lies, implying that we are a threat to the global comprise. Missionaries saving their own lives, while Africans remain deprived. Why is prejudice spreading faster? And in Africa, everybody get busted. Xenophobia, homophobia. Is it because we're shouting out loud? We don't want experiment drugs. We don't want to spill more blood. We don't want to trust the thugs, making us down like a rock, putting us on the chopping block because of our minerals. High tech needs our crystals, so respect should be minimal. Why is hunger spreading faster? And in Africa, everybody get busted. The main reason for the extinction of African children, as if we don't care about the future. That's the impression we get in the picture, commercialized and televised. Always the first to receive the death kiss. Africans everywhere get busted in integration, assimilation, stagnation, waiting to fall in a cold pit, 6 feet deep, like the coal burning for the machine to run. For some reason, the truth is reversed like a curse, getting worse and worse. And in Africa, everybody get busted.
Africa.
This is another chapter of complaint. written by anonymous names, those whose fruits still strange in the tree of life, those whose history the world cannot disclaim, nor disavow the foundation laid. Abego, 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 don't put them on a mediocre frame, under development, statistically underestimated, pushing and shoving everywhere, because the book says long suffering. Look how many struggling in the streets of Copenhagen, collecting bottles for a krona. 100 literally means every goddamn corner. Black men pale in despair, to eat, to sleep, to feed the sheep. Calling it equality, but I call it iniquity. We're the ones in handcuffed, from the womb to the coffins, not for mugging them sneakers, cause in the streets, find us keepers, but for being a nigger in the white man system. Every sign says chase them. My freedom might just wake them. Zombies under the sleeping spell of man-made hell. This is a jail cell. We're dancing to the beating of the drum. Some of us trying to run away from, not realizing that we're linked to the same chain, to the same pain, to them sweet as sugar cane. How long must we swallow the taste of fear while we're trying to catch that conscious breath? Now listen carefully, lest the knock of death constrains. Children of the sun, let your fire burn. Welfare is not fair as long as we're many out there, far from home, lost in this dreamland, dreamland, dreamland.